Good morning. Okay, so today is Friday, Erev Shabbos, October 31st. We're in Malachim Aleph, Perek, Yud, Gimel. Okay, so quick little background where we're holding. So yesterday we spoke about how Rechavam and Yerovam came on the scene. And we spoke how Rechavam became the Melech of Yehuda and Yamin in the area of Yerushalayim. And Yerovam and Navat was the Melech of the rest of Klal Yisrael, the north kind of area. So, well, a little bit in the south, but also mostly the north. Okay, and we ended off how Yerovam and Navat literally took Klal Yisrael to really bad, really bad, to the point I think the Gemara said in Sanhedrin that they lost the Elam Haba. Yerovam and Navat. Yerovam and Navat, we ended off that he was afraid that when Klal Yisrael goes to the regular Yerushalayim, they're going to realize that he can't sit in Azara and Rechavam could, right? Because the only person that says the Melech. Right, only Beis David's allowed said, and he's not from Beis David, and therefore he ain't yeshiva b'Azara. Also by Hakel, he doesn't have a problem because he can't say because the Melech over there is going to be Rechavam, not Yerovam. So what did he do? He decided to make two of the Zaris, and Klal Yisrael should have, instead of having to go all the way to Yerushalayim, they could go to the local of the Zara, which was kind of like was an egel, right? And then he realized, okay, so it can't coincide with Sukkot, so he made like we have Pesach Sheni, he made something called Sukkot Sheni, a month later, and a big slippery slope to the point that Klal Yisrael was doing Avodah Zarah. Okay, so now we have Perek Yud Gimel, that kind of continuation. What happened? V'hinei ish elikim ba mi Yehuda. All of a sudden, a Navi comes from Yehuda, b'dvar Hashem a base kel, and Yerovam Omer al mizbeach lahakter. So what happened? Yerovam and Navat, we just started. Yerovam and Navat now is bringing a carbon, and then suddenly a Yish Alikim comes, and he was standing by the Mizbeach, and Yerovam was standing by the Mizbeach, and he came and he said the following: Vayikra al Mizbeach. And now this Yish Alikim, he calls out the Mizbeach, B'dvar Hashem Yomer Mizbeach. He says Mizbeach. Kay Amar Hashem. Mizbeach refers to the way Rashi learns it. It refers to Mizbeach two times. It refers to the Mizbeach Beisal, Mizbeach and Dan in the north. It says, Kay Hashem, Hine, Naila, the Beis David. There's going to be many years down the line. I'm talking about Bayesheni times, I believe. There's going to be somebody by the name of Yeshayahu Shemai. Yeshayahu is going to be born. Zavach Alecha, and on Zavach Alecha as Kahane Habamais, Baktir Alecha. No, Zavach Alecha is kind of Habamais, and this person that's going to come, Yeshayahu, he's going to shecht on you all the Kahane Habamais. In other words, he's going to kill all these the Kahane Abamas, these people that are bringing the Avodah Zarah on the Bama, and are burning the Ketairos on you. And he's going to burn the bones, human bones, on you on this Bech. And Rashi explains it's referring to Yerovam, but he didn't want to say Yerovam, but it means, in other words, the Malach saying in the Nevuah, the Navi saying in the Nevuah that there's going to be a time that, first of all, that all the people that are being makriv are going to be killed, and in the times of Yeshio, and also your bones are going to be burnt on Mizbech. That's the words of this Navi. Okay, and then Pasuk Gimel v'nasim b'yemahu ma'ifus, and it says, "I'm going to give you a sign to show you I'm saying it's true." What's the sign? Zeh ma'ifus hashadi b'Hashem. What is it? Hine maktiv v'nikra. Hine Mizbech v'nikra. He's saying the Mizbech is going to split now. And the deshen, and the ashes are going to fall on the floor. That's what he said. And when the Melech Yerovam ben Navat heard the words of the Navi, as soon as he said that, he stretched out his hand on Mizbeach. Lamar, he's saying, Tasfu, grab him. Grab this person, this Navi who's saying this Nevuah about me, and it's not good, right? And as soon as he did that, Yerovam and Navat became paralyzed. His hand became dry, paralyzed on the spot. And he couldn't draw it back. He reached out, and then he stuck because he became paralyzed. So, and then when that happened, hey, Mizbeach Nikra, the Mizbeach split, like the Nevuah, and then ashes went and it split, went falling down. like exactly what the Navi says is going to happen. It happened. Okay. In the meantime, Yerovam's hand is paralyzed and it's standing there. So what happens? So Yerovam cries out and he says to Elikim, he says, "Chal no, Hashem lekecha." Please reach out to Hashem. The spell ba'adiv. He said, "Daven for me to touch the other leg that my hand should start working again." He became paralyzed. Now Rashi explains why didn't Yerovam reach out to his own gods? In other words, even though he became paralyzed, you would think maybe he would reach out to Hashem. No, he was so in his own zone. Rashi, he was so in his own rebellion that he didn't. He had to ask the Navi to do it for him. Okay,
but obviously he believed in it because he asked him to ask for him.
Rashi says, "Why did he say die? Because he was still in his zone.
He was so disconnected from Hashem.
Right? Why did he reach out to Hashem? That's not the way you learn in Hashem. Okay. Okay. Anyways, right. Okay. Fine. Okay. Right. Okay. So right. So he says. So he told the Malach reach out to Hashem. He told the Malach reach out to Hashem and they ask Hashem that he should unparalyze him. Okay, so the Navi did it, and he reached out to Hashem, and Yerovam became okay. It's an interesting story. Right. V'daber HaMelech Elisha Elikim, ba itay baisa v'suda, v'etna l'cha matas. So now Yerovam told the Ishal Elikim, he said, maybe come to me to my house, and I'll give you food, and I'll give you a meal. I'll
take care of you.
Yeah. I guess he wanted to have a conversation with him. He was maybe wanted to be thankful for him, whatever. He wanted to know if he come to his house. Talk to me. But Yerovam Ishal Elikim El HaMelech. If you give me, even if you give me half your house, I can't go with you. I can't. In this place, I can't eat, drink, I can't do anything. I can't go to your house. No, impossible. Why? Because Hashem gave me a commandment. He said, Hashem said, go to Yerovam and give this nevuah. And he said, don't eat there, don't drink, no nothing, and don't go back in the same way you came. Okay, very important. He told him that, and that was the nevuah. That was the way it had to be delivered. The nevuah. What's the idea of not go back the same way? So it's the way the way we learned it. It's kind of like you're going to do a mission. The mission is go give the words Dvar Hashem to Yerovam, and just make it as little remnants as you can. Just go and come, and the idea of going another way is that the way you came shouldn't be remembered. It's almost like just do what you have to do and come right back. I think it was the Kliyaka. I'm not sure who says that. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, okay. So the pasuk Yud v'yelech b'dvar acher v'leishav b'derech asher ba al beisa. So he went another way, and he didn't go in the same way he came. Now, that's so far the story. Now it's very interesting. What happens is now a Navi Sheker comes into play. The Navi Echad Zaken Yoshev Beis. So there was a Navi Sheker that was in living in Beisel. The Yavi Benoi Beisapaloi Akolmeister. So now what happened was the son of this Navi Sheker went ahead and he told us, and his son told his father, the Navi Sheker. He said, I want to tell you what happened today. Very interesting story. Yerovam and the Mizbeach. He tells him they became paralyzed. Very interesting story. He's telling him. Okay, he's telling him, so they went and they told the father, the whole story that happened. Okay. And so the father said, do you know where he went? I want to catch up to him. Okay. So again, this Navi Sheker's children tell him the story. He's like, the Navi Sheker's like, I need to find this Navi. So he shows him he tells him, he went, he went there, and he goes and he shows him where he went. Okay. But the Yerma Banov, he tells his sons, okay, he rides his donkey and he goes, he finds him. He finds him, this Navi, the Navi Sheker, finds the real Navi sitting under an Elah tree. Okay, good? So far so good? He tells him, Yehuda. He asks about Yehuda, that came from Yehuda and gave the whole Nevuah. He says, yeah, I'm the person. I'm the Navi. So he says, can you come home? Come to my house. I want to sit down with you. Let's have a meal. Let's talk. I can't go with you. I can't come with you. I can't do any of that stuff. Because the word came from Hashem, that's Hashem said very clearly, a very clear directive. And also Hashem he adds on, okay? So he tells him, I'll talk to you, but I can't eat with you, I can't do any of that stuff. It's Dvar Hashem, the same way he told that to Yerovam, same idea now. Okay? So now this Navi Sheker tells the real Navi, he says, I'm a Navi also. And what? And the Malach spoke to me, Dvar Hashem Lema. And he lies to the real Navi. He tells him that he had a nevuah that says, and he deceived him. In other words, got the story. There's a real Navi, and the real Navi has a nevuah, and the nevuah, and he tells the Yerovam, and the end of this thing is he says, can't eat or drink anywhere. You have to go straight back. So on the way back, this Navi Sheker meets him. And he says, "No, I wanna sit with you. I want to eat with you." He said, "I can't." He's like, "Because the nevuah is I can't." He said, "No, you don't understand. Hashem came to me too and told me that I could." So now the real Navi and the fake Navi sit down for a meal because he figured that because he heard that the nevuah is that he could. The Yoshevitai and the Navi Sheker and the Navi and the real Navi sit together. They're eating and drinking and they're talking. Okay. As they were sitting by the table as they were sitting eating by the table and they're talking, suddenly he's Dvar Hashem ala Navi. The Dvar Hashem comes to which Navi? So which part?
In this pasuk, there's a stumma writing over.
Oh, because in the middle of the meal, as they were talking, suddenly a nevuah comes, and who's the nevuah come to?
Break in the pasuk.
I don't know. It could be
It's like a stop.
Because they're eating, and suddenly in the middle of the meal,
Stop.
Yes, it's stop the meal. Suddenly, the nevuah comes to who? To the Navi Sheker. The way Rashi, it's two ways to learn, but that's the way Rashi learns. Yeah. Because Rashi brings a very interesting medrash. See, Rashi has to always fit in with Chazal. And Chazal say, right. So a nevuah comes to the Navi Sheker. Okay. Let's just see. Rashi bekan amru gedola glima. How great is it? Someone who gives refreshments and gives food to guests. That what? That if you feed the visitor, you feed people, even the Navi Sheker, he gets the nevuah. Yeah, it's important to feed people.
But this Navi, the Sham said this Navi was Yonasan.
Oh, yeah. Habeli says busy Shalmi, and this Navi was Yonasan. Okay.
Yonasan was the one from Kasumika, the grandson of the Moshe Rabbeinu. He gave, remember?
Yeah, sure.
Food, that's why they didn't want to break. That's why Hashem didn't want to.
Oh, very good. Very interesting. I didn't see it, but Rabeli's saying a very interesting shot. The Gemara says that Pesel Micha, that the Ketairis of Shiloh and the Ketairis of Pesel Micha were mixed together in Shemayim, and the Gemara brings down because of that. The Malachim said, "Let's stop." Malachim said, "Let's stop let's not bring up the Shemayim." He said, "No, since by Pesel Micha they take care of the guests." Therefore, we're gonna let, even though it was within 3 mil of each other. So therefore, what happens? The smoke mixed together, and what the Shemayim together was more of the Gemara says. So he's saying he brings down very Shema. This was Yonasan, and therefore, what was Yonasan? And therefore, the Gajaya, right? Because Yonasan was the Kohen that worked by Pesel Micha. Okay. We'll take this to the raid bites. Very good. Okay. Nach nuggets. Okay. Let's go right there. Okay, so anyway, so while he's in the middle of the meal, and the two Nevi'im are sitting together, suddenly the Navi Sheker gets a nevuah, and what is it? And he says a nevuah, he kind of says it to the real Navi. V'yikra el ish elikim, and the I don't know exactly how this works, but basically the Navi Sheker gets to the Nevuah, and he's talking towards the real Navi, and he says, Asher ba mi Yehuda leimar. He says, and he says, Koya Mar Hashem, Yan ki marisa pi Hashem. The Nevuah is, they said, since you went ahead, he's telling the real Navi, since you went ahead and you rebelled against Hashem, and you, in other words, because you ate and drank by this person's house, and you weren't allowed to, even though he didn't know, I guess, still, as a mitzvah, shativa Hashem lakecha. Since he did that, v'tashav leicha lechem, v'tesh mayim v'malkim asher diber alecha, lo'isucha lechem, lo'tishta mayim, lo'sava nevascha, al kavra, therefore lo'sava nevascha, al kavra v'secha. Your corpse will not enter the grave of your fathers. In other words, this Navi is being punished because
the punishment is he's not buried next to his
he's
father.
not going to be buried next to his father. Now you might ask, what did he do wrong? Seemingly he didn't do anything wrong, right? He throws in the right thing. So I'll tell you, I think the answer is further, because if you look a second, you see the Pasuk Gimel, after they ate, after they drank, in other words, he went after he heard this nevuah. What did he do? He finished eating and drinking, and then he sat his donkey and left. So the Kliyok explains. He says he should have stopped right there. And he should have did tshuva. He just did, apparently he did a bechet. He might have did a mistake, but since he didn't, he continued eating and continued drinking. He almost like accepted the punishment. So because of that, maybe that's the reason why he got punished. He should have done tshuva. He didn't. It sounds like, I mean, the way I learned the passage before that, I said, okay, so he ate. The passage is saying after he finished eating, and then he left. The point is that he continued eating, and then he went. I didn't jump the kliyakar. Okay, anyways, right. Okay, so he gets the nevuah that he's going to be punished now, and he's not going to be buried with Keravim. Okay, and it's by his fathers. Pasuk Daled. He left. As he left, suddenly he got attacked by a lion, and the lion killed him. The Navi. Interesting. Now, what happened? That he in the Vlasai Bashachas B'derech, and his corpse was thrown on the road. And the donkey, his donkey. No, it didn't eat it. Yes. That's Rashi. I can't say that. Okay. Anyways, what happened now? So this Navi gets killed. His body gets thrown on the side, and the donkey that he was riding on just stood there. And the Arya Aymed Eitzel avail, and also the lion. So you have a dead body on the side of the road. You have a donkey standing there, and a lion just standing there. The lion didn't eat the body; it was just standing there. Like very interesting, bizarre. Right, very bizarre. Exactly. Oh, very good. Very right. So it didn't eat him. Didn't attack each other. Just normally the lion would have killed him. Maybe the chamar. It would have ate the person. It just stood there and watched. Everyone was watching the scene. And pasuk Chavei, Bihine Anoshim over and people passing by. And they saw us the veils of Mashachim B'Darach. It's so very interesting. They saw that the vela sitting of this person is sitting on the road. It's Arya Oimer ate the vela, and as Ari pointed out, it was stated that the Arya was next to the vela and it didn't eat it. And everyone was talking about it in the city of the real life. Everyone was talking about this. There's this guy lying on the street dead. This is weird scene on the street. Oh, Pasuk Havav. Navi. So now, when the Navi Sheker hears what happened, so he's kind of like in a shock. So first thing he does is the Navi that brought this, the Navi who brought the Navi Sheker brought the real Navi back. He said, you know who this person is? He's a real Navi. That's the person that's dead on the street. And the reason why he got killed because he rebelled from Hashem, and Hashem went ahead and delivered him in the hands of a lion. Hashem crushed him and killed him. Just like Hashem said, because he's kind of saying that he had a nevuah that he's going to die, and he got killed because he went ahead and he didn't listen to the words of Hashem. And so now this Navi Sheker tells his children, he says, quickly get my donkey, and they saddle his donkey, and this Navi Sheker goes to the nevela of, where the lion is and the camel is and the dead body is. And it explains the scene again. Okay, and what does he do? Yisa Hanavi as Avelas as Nivlas Ishalikim. The Navi goes this Navi Sheker. He picks up the nevela of this real Navi. He put him on the donkey and he brought it back. The chiddush was that he wasn't scared to go there. I guess I don't know exactly why, but I guess he sees something so bizarre. Right. If he sees something so bizarre and he feels like he had a hand in the catastrophe here, he's kind of like feeling like I got to do something.
Notice something interesting. It says that he said he told it to his kids. Normally, when anybody saddles their donkey or whatever, and they go to sing, the pasuk never tells us that he told his kids. Right.
Right.
He's here to tell you. He's teaching them a lesson.
Oh, it's chinuch. Interesting. The way I understood it was like he wanted to do it quick. Give me my donkey. I need to get out of here. I need to go do something. But here. Okay.
From we see the other way.
Right.
From saddled his own donkey.
Oh, very good. Well, this guy's a Navi Sheker, so what does he do? If you right. So he says he came to the city of this Navi and he gave a hesped.
Which city?
The city of the old Zake, of the real one. Yeah, V'yavel Ir Navi Zake of the old, in other words, the real Ishalikim. This by the cross, and he gave him a hesped and he buried him. And he put it inside the kever, the list by the love, and he said, Hayachi, wow, is my brother. I think he's like doing kind of a tshuva a little bit here. He feels guilty that he's the one who caused.
The kid right the base course.
You're correct. Right, because he wasn't going to be buried with his father. So that's what Rashi's saying. It has to be in the Navi Sheker. Right. The Navi Sheker buried him in his own city, not in the city of his father. Right. Because if not, then the Nevuah is not going to be. Okay. And when he buried him, he said, Hayachi, wow, is my brother. In other words, he felt guilty of the whole of what happened here. To the point that he gave a hesped on the Navi. Just a very bizarre story. And let's go a little further. He told his children, when I die, I want to bury me in the grave of Asher Ishalikim covered by. It says, I want to be buried in the same cover as this real Navi is buried. And my bones put next to his bones. Those days they used to put the bones together. So put my bones next to his bones. And why? He says because I think he's saying like this, that he knows that one day the nevuah is going to come true, the nevuah of Yerovam and Avat, that all these people they're going to get punished, right? All the fake fake people bring kabbalas, right, of their beitel and right. He's saying it is, and it's like Rashi. Rashi says he said put it next to him. I want to be buried with him. It was ulay. Maybe his bones will rescue my bones. Like I guess he's kind of doing tshuva, and he realized he did bad. He's saying when I die, put him next to him, maybe he'll somehow protect me. Okay, pasuk Lamed Gimel. After all these things, you would think he has a nevuah and he gets a warning, right, from Ishalikim, and then suddenly he gets paralyzed. He's like weird things happening, right? And then maybe destroy the misas of the Navi, and you think he would go back. No, like Shav Yerovam Midarkei Hara, Vayasha Vayas, V'Ksaisa Ama Kahanim B'Amis, Chafes Yimales Yadai V'Hi Kahanas B'Amis. So this idea that you could just go inside and you could just whoever wants could just bring kabbalas, and you don't have to be from any particular, just whatever you want you could do. And they just continued as they did before. And V'Hi B'Dover Azel Chatas B'Beis Yerovam. This thing became a chatas b'beis Yerovam, and it caused Yerovam eventually to be destroyed off the face of the earth. This quickly important Rashi here. Rashi just says, "What's achadav azeh?" So famous medrash. I'm saying Darshu achash tafsa kashbochu, a big doya kashbochu went ahead and he went to Yerovam and Avat and he grabbed this bag of amalai chazarbach do tshuva. Accept Yeshuva. And he said, if you do that, there's a famous story that what Hashem said, Hashem grabbed him by the lapel and said, listen, he said, do tshuva and you and me and Yishai will all be together in Gan Eden. And then the famous story, he hands off. He said, so Yerovam says, "Mi Barosh, who's gonna be first?" He said, "No, Yishai is gonna be." He said, "Yishai will be first. I'm out." And just whatever. And you see, it's gonna get worse and worse. The next story is basically, we'll see on Monday. But basically, he's gonna get punished, and you're gonna see the downfall of Yerovam. And have a good Shabbos. Shkoyach. Thank you so much.